back for episode 3, Serious Sam 4.
Yes, Serious Sam 4 on the Xbox Series X. We were playing it through Xbox Game Pass. Just before we get into the game, I just wanted to talk about this week. We celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Nintendo GameCube.
Yes, we did. Very exciting times.
This does segue into why we've chosen to play Serious Sam. But just bear with us. So I just wanted to tell the story of the day I got my GameCube because my memory is terrible, and yet I remember this day so clearly. So
I remember the day you got your GameCube.
Yeah, it was. I pre-ordered it at Toys R Us, and it was a school day. It came out on Friday, and I remember going to school. My mum was going to pick it up for me when I was at school, and all day at school, I was just like, "Oh, I just want to get home. My GameCube's going to be waiting for me when I get home. Just want to get home and play it." So school goes, I get home, and my mum's like, "Ian, they didn't have it in stock," and I was like, "What do you mean they didn't have it in stock? I pre-ordered it. They should have had it." And she's like, "They didn't have it." So I threw a proper paddy, threw my school bag on the floor, went upstairs to my bedroom, and it was just sat there on my bed. I felt like a right idiot having a go at my mum. So yeah, I got it, and then I opened it straight away. I remember because you were coming around for the weekend.
It was a Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you were coming around for the weekend, and I know you got yours the same day.
Yeah,
Did you
I
get
got
yours
mine.
the same day?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
literally went from school. I got on the bus after school, didn't go home. Got it from Game in the Bargate. I pre-ordered it. Got it for Sonic Adventure 2. Got it home, and didn't even get a chance to set it up because my dad turned up. I was like, right, come on, in the car, and obviously off over to your house.
Yeah. So yeah, by the time you got to mine, I think I'd pretty much spammed a few hours into Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
And then I think we started playing Crazy Taxi because they were the two games I got. And we were just so excited to play it until the dreaded news came that we had to go to our parents' friend's party. And I think I remember us both just moaning so much, being like, "Oh, why can't we just stay at home?" And they're like, "No, you have to come." And yeah, it ruined GameCube launch day for me. Going to that party is Mick, Teresa and Mickey.
It was Mickey, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say it was Mickey's 50th, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, 50th or 40th. 20 years.
40th. Oh, probably his 40th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember the building it was in because every time I drive past it, I look at it with disdain. I'm like, "You ruined GameCube launch day for me." And the annoying thing as well, like we weren't even old enough to drink legally, so like no one would give us any drink at the party. Well, no one gave me any. I don't know if you had any.
2002, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was like year 10 and you were like year 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just spent the whole evening by the buffet table, just waiting to go home.
Well, that weekend, I was just basically sat on the end of your bed watching you play, like, Luigi's Mansion.
We took it in turns on Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, well, when we got to play Crazy Taxi, you're like, you have a go. You're crap at this, aren't you? Your go will last, like, like a minute. And then there's you being like, oh, yeah. Getting the vicar guy to the church and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Take me to the church.
Yeah.
It's when you get past that and you go to the baseball stadium and then downtown.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was a lot of good memories from the GameCube because it used to come around. Was it every weekend, every other weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we used to just play Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Time Splitters.
So much time on Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
Super
I know.
Sudden Death, Smash Brothers. Right. 4 of us huddled in your room. That was just stupid. The smallest room in the house, and that's where we'd all be.
That's
perched on your bed.
That's where the GameCube was located.
But the end of your bed ended up like having that permanent dip in it, didn't it? Like on that edge, because you just had like 4 like teenage boys just sat there on the edge like for hours and hours.
I can't remember who everyone. I always used to play as Link, and you always played as Jigglypuff. But I can't remember who Daniel, my brothers, Daniel and Mark used to play as.
Mark was Yoshi all the time.
Oh, of course he was, yeah.
And because Daniel stopped coming around after a while, I can't remember. Daniel used to play. I know he used to do a bit of Samus and he used to do a bit of Mario, but like Daniel gets annoyed with games, doesn't he? So he'd just be like, I remember we used to play GoldenEye together, and every time I killed him, he'd punch me.
Yeah, but that's because you knew all the spawn layouts. Every time you killed someone, you would be at where
Yeah,
they were spawning before they spawned. It was no
yeah,
fun playing that with you. But yeah, so I remember you bringing around Serious Sam. Um,
yeah.
to be honest, I don't
I
remember much of the original.
I
I
bought
remember
that
how
game as
like
a joke.
hectic it was, like how crazy
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember too much about the original.
I I got that because me and Sam Brown, we bunked off school and went to town, and I had a bit of money, and I saw it there, and it was like reduced. I think it was like £15 or something. It's Serious Sam, and yeah, I basically bought it as a joke slash piss take. Like,
For
oh,
Sam.
Serious Sam. Oh, yeah. But we took it back to his place and we played it. It was actually quite a bit of fun.
Yeah. So have you ever
Obviously, I bought it
played
around.
the second and the third one?
No, I only played the one on GameCube. But I think the GameCube is I don't know if it's the first and second one together, or if it's like because it's Serious Sam the first encounter and the second encounter together. But I don't know if that's one class as one and two, or sort of 1 and 1.5. I don't know. I
Right. Okay.
was hoping you'd done some research.
No, I did do a bit of research on Serious Sam 4, but I didn't do a lot of research into the originals. So yeah, so now Serious Sam is on the Game Pass. So Blast of the Past, we decided to play it this time.
Yep.
So here's my research. Thanks Wikipedia. So it's created by a developer called Crow Team. They're a Croatian developer. They were established in 1992, and they've basically just made Serious Sam games.
That's pretty impressive. You've
Yeah.
been established since '92, and all you've done is Serious Sam games, and you're still
Uh,
going.
yeah, they've done a puzzle game called the Talos Principle. In the 90s, like 94, 96, they did some football games or soccer games for those of you in your region. Um, but yeah, they're actually their games get published by Devolver Digital.
I noticed that, and then I noticed that Trek to Yomi is Devolver Digital as well.
Yes.
So we're doing two. We're doing literally a month of Devolver Digital. We should get
Yeah.
some sort of sponsorship for that or something.
Yeah, for sure. So I even looked up some of the Metacritic scores for this game on
Okay.
the Metacritic scores for the game for the Xbox version. So it's got a 57 out of 100. Um, I think for some reason it was higher on the PlayStation 5, even though it's
Lack of
basically
games, probably. The
all right.
console's that bad. Anything on it makes it better.
Okay, yeah, we'll just leave that to be your opinion. I can't judge. I haven't got one, so I can't say.
No, I've never
But
seen
yeah,
one.
the critic scores range from like a 5 out of 10, which IGN gave it. PC Games gave it 8 out of 10, but on average it is around about 7 out of 10. So in this day and age, a 7 out of 10 game is poor. Avoid it. But back in the day of the GameCube, you'd see a 7 out of 10 and be like, this game is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Also, I
Um,
found as well sometimes there can be like a 2 out of 10 game and everyone's slating it. I play it and I think it's amazing.
yeah.
But I guess I must just like trash games.
So development wise, this game started development in October 2012.
When did it come out?
It
Is
came
it
out
new?
on
Or is it?
it came out on Windows and Google Stadia in September 2020, but didn't make its way to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and Series S until December 2021.
So it's literally taken them like a decade almost.
Yeah, I think they started the development on it in 2012, but then some aspects of the original Serious Sam 4 that they wanted to put in, they moved on to the Talos Principle, which they made in 2014. So then I
Okay,
think like development restarted after that. But yeah, the
got
initial start of it was back in 2012. That's basically all the research I did. So yeah,
That's pretty in depth though. It's better than my research when I literally just like, oh yeah, so let me just get the website up and just read that quick.
I mean, yeah, I've just wrote it all down on my phone.
Yeah. So with them, obviously restarting it and starting it so long ago, that might explain why the graphics are a bit crap, to
I
put it
noted
politely.
I noted this in my notes. It was the first thing I put after the research was graphically it isn't as good as I'd expect for games that came out in that year.
Yeah,
Especially Windows, and I don't know how powerful Google Stadia is, but like Windows limitless power to some extent. Surely,
yeah.
if you're on
It's a
like a
PC game.
yeah,
Like they normally have a high spec mode. Yeah,
yeah, but it looked like it was like an early Xbox One game visually.
it was. There was a lot of like um texture pop in. So like
Yes,
especially in like the beginning of like the cutscene, it would on my I've got an Xbox Series X. I'm not playing it on like a Series S or anything. And obviously the cutscene would happen, and then the obviously the characters would all be there, but then like the buildings and rocks and stuff and the texture on their shirts and things just wasn't loaded, so it was almost a bit like weirdly cell shaded. And then like 5 6 seconds into the cutscene, everything would just pop into being
yeah.
like,
I
oh yeah,
found that
it's normal.
I found that during gameplay as well in certain aspects. Um,
Yeah,
I've managed to somehow get outside of the map a few times.
yeah.
Um,
I've got like glitches galore written on my.
yes, yes. I found a glitch with Xbox Quick Resume where the cutscenes you'd only hear the first syllable of the first word of that person's like sentence, and then when it flipped to the next character, it would do the same thing. But you'd see all the subtitles, so you'd still know what they're talking about, but
Yeah,
you wouldn't hear what they're talking about. Um, so I had to like restart the game, like hard reset the game for the cutscenes and everything to start working again. But yeah, graphically it wasn't great. It did feel like a very old Xbox One game.
but then some people don't
Maybe
care
even
about graphics.
360. No, maybe even like 360 standard.
I think it looked like it would be like an impressive Xbox 360 game.
Yeah,
If you saw an Xbox 360, you'd be like, wow, this is really good.
yeah.
Sort of like when people saw the first Gears of War, I guess.
Especially like because in the game you can go from first person view to third person view.
Which I didn't realize till a while in when
You
I was
press
just mushing buttons.
you press
I
down
think I
on the
was trying to
D-pad.
change weapon. Yeah,
Oh, I'll get to that in a minute because that's also in my notes. The change in weapons. But yeah,
yeah,
so when you go from first person to third person, like it looks really bad. Like the way the character runs, like his legs move faster than he's actually moving. So it looks like he's running like on a treadmill.
yeah,
Um,
sort of sliding around sort of thing.
yeah, I don't really. I think the game itself just at certain points made me feel really dizzy with how quick the movement was, and you could probably turn the sensitivity down on it. I didn't check, but when I was in third person view, it just made me feel even more disorientated. So I just stuck to first person mode.
How big is your TV though?
Uh,
They got massive
50
TV, haven't
something, yeah, 50 something
they? Yeah, there you
inch.
go. And how
Yeah,
far away from it are you?
not that far.
There you go then. That's probably why it made you feel sick.
Yeah.
So I was just going to talk about some of the glitches that
Yeah, go on then.
I encountered. So one that was like just not even funny was when I just finished one of the boss fights and that, and then um, it did like the cutscene thing, and then it just sort of stopped, and then nothing happened, and I was like, "What was going on?" But it wasn't like it had frozen because the you like you can see sort of like wind blowing stuff or like
Yeah.
the people like sort of little like moving a little bit like that. So the game was running, it hadn't frozen, but it just I guess it got to the point where it needed to get onto the next screen to load the next level, but then just didn't.
Yeah.
So then I had to turn it off and turn it back on again and do the boss fight all over again. So that was
Which
really
boss was
annoying.
it?
I think it was the one that he stabs through the face with the antenna thing.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know which one you're on about.
I don't know any of the names of any of the enemies, so I've come up with my own names. But I
I
think
know
it's
the
that.
one. I know the name of two of the enemies, which again I'll come back to later. Um,
Yeah. So one of the other things that happened to me, I got stuck behind a pillar. I was running away, from enemies, and I ran into a pillar, and then ended up being behind it, but then couldn't get out. And then the other one was I clipped through a fence. So again, I was like jumping and jumping and shooting and jumping, and then I went through a fence, so I was outside the map and couldn't get back in. And it was
Okay.
when loads of the screaming things were coming towards me,
Oh
so it
yeah.
was really annoying. So the whole time I was trying to get back into the map, all I could hear was like
Yeah.
constantly. Um, and then the worst one was, um, I went up some, the bit where you go to save the woman that's in the tower. Like it's like a side mission thing. I don't know if you did it or not. It's
When
like
you
a
get
side mission. It's a side mission. One of the levels. You go into
what
like the
level?
castle.
Oh, is
I
this
think it's the
in the
castle. I think.
castle?
Yeah, and there's a woman up there,
Yeah.
and she's like needs to be saved. You go up and save her. So going up there, I got onto the top of the thing. I went through the door, and then when I came out the other side of the door, I had no legs. I was like, I was like 2 foot off the ground with like the dual miniguns. Just like I could move around and everything, just gliding around like I was like Odd Job on Goldeneye or something. It was just like,
It's weird that you're that far, considering you played it like a lot less than me. Because I'm
I'll
literally
tell
on the
you,
next level
I'll tell you
after
why I'm
that.
that far because I put it on tourist mode
Oh, okay.
because I play games on easy because I like to feel like flipping John Rambo going through there being like, Rah!
Okay, fair enough. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, I think I've taken so long because I just explore everywhere. But
yeah,
again, I'll come on to that as part of my notes about that. But yeah, just a lot of the glitches I had frame rate drops when there was a lot of enemies on the screen at once. Like it would, yeah, freeze a bit. Um, the graphics not loading in.
yeah,
The endless escaping the map, which is good to if to some extent because you can skip areas.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, other than that, there's obviously the thing you find in a lot of games where you just walk through lampposts and benches. Because in the game, there's I found this out after the first level that there are secrets on every mission,
yeah.
and this is why it's taken me so long to get as far as I do. Because the first mission, I think there's like 5 or 6, and I think I found one. So after that, I was like, right, I'm gonna search everywhere.
Just
So
gone
I'm
down
there
the
like,
rabbit hole, secret hunting.
yeah. So I'm there, and I'm like jumping from like dumpsters onto walls, and then onto like roofs to try and find secrets, and then that's how I get out of the map, and that's why it's taken me so long. But there was on when you first get to France and you start off on that
Yeah,
hill and there's just wood everywhere. I thought to myself, there's going to be a wall, an invisible wall somewhere to stop me from getting some like so far away from the
yeah,
mission. So I was walking, and you find that road, and you find the bike that you go on,
yeah.
and I followed the road the opposite direction to the mission, and I think I was driving on it for about 15 minutes, thinking there's going to be they wouldn't just put a road in here for no reason and not have a secret at the end of it. And I get to the end of the road after about 15 minutes, and there's
What's at the end?
a tunnel that's been caved in with a health, one of those health cans that replenishes your health by one.
Oh my god, that's just a troll move by the developer, isn't it? They've done that on purpose.
Yeah, so I was like, I've just wasted 15 minutes just driving for no reason. And even when you're driving, like it doesn't even feel like you're moving that fast.
No, you run quite fast anyway.
Yeah,
One thing I was a little bit sort of like disappointed by because I find the game quite fun, despite we've just been laying
it's
into it for like the last sort of 15
yeah,
minutes.
it's
But
arcadey, which is different to
yeah,
a lot of first-person shooters out there.
I was disappointed that there's a lack of like interaction with the environment. Because like on Duke Nukem, I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the one on the N64. You go into the building, there's like a pool table and pool balls, and you can
Yeah,
shoot the pool balls and you can pop them, and there's all that sort of interaction. Or on GoldenEye, you shoot a chair and it'll explode.
yeah,
Um, there just wasn't that sort of interaction with the environment. I
yeah,
just thought that would just elevate it to make it just that bit more silly because it's sort of like a just over the top action sort of game. So you'd think
yeah,
that if you are, I'm going to shoot a brick and it explodes, that would just be funny.
yeah. No, I get what you mean. But yeah, there's so graphically, I didn't think it was that great. Um, Gameplay wise, yeah, I know we've gone over this already, but I thought it was very fast paced for a first person shooter. Um, like I've only ever really got into Call of Duties and Halo, which are slow in comparison.
And also, usually on Halo and Call of Duty, you're running forwards shooting things. Whereas I
Oh
found
yeah,
that on Serious Sam, I'm surprised I even completed a single level because I think I spent 90% of the time just running backwards.
yep, yeah.
It's
I was
like,
doing that as well. Every time, like you know when something's going to happen because it does that age-old video game trick of giving
yeah.
you lots of ammo and lots of health and armor, and you're like,
Then the music starts,
"Yep," you're like,
and
"Poo's
you're like,
about to hit the fan,"
yeah,
and then you
yeah,
you walk forward, and you're like, "Oh, it's only a few of the minor enemies, the guys in the jumpsuits with the claws." And you're like, "I could take those out of my with my pistol," and then another creature comes along, and then another one. You're like, "Okay, shotguns. Now onto my
yeah.
machine guns." And the whole while you're running back, and then you'll run back, and you think, "I know there's a door behind me because I just came through it," but you've ran back at a wrong angle, and you just get stuck in the corner and just get bombarded by enemies. But the worst
Yeah.
enemies I think for me are
Like the budget Wolverines just slapping you in the
yeah,
face.
the worst enemies for me are those skeletons. Is it the ones I
What
mean? The ones that throw like the ball and
the
chain
one?
at you, and then they jump
Oh,
at
like
you.
the horse skeleton things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I have
that's
to
what I
fight
call them.
any horde and they're amongst it, I'm just like, just use one of my gadgets to just get rid of them all because I can't deal with them. They just do my head in.
The worst enemies, like for me, are the vampire things.
Oh yeah,
They just creep me out, and like when the weird spirit thing grabs the screen, goes "Ah!" like generally makes the stomach go a bit like, "Ugh." Like I don't like it. I don't like it. Go away.
yeah. Those ones are a bit annoying. But the enemies, I thought there was a good variety of enemies.
Oh,
Um,
there's such a good variety of the
yeah,
enemies.
and they're so weird. Like each
Yeah,
one looks weirder than the last. So you got
so
the horse skeleton with things that you mentioned that kind of
yeah, you list
gallop
what you
at you
call
with.
them.
So I think they're called Creel, Kreel, I
Okay,
think. They run at you like horses with scythes for hands, and
yeah,
they lunge at you if they get close. And then you've got the headless kamikaze. I know that's their name.
I
They're
call
the
them
ones that,
screamers.
yep, they're the ones that scream at you and run at you with bombs.
Just explode in your
Yep.
face.
You got the belchers, which are the ones that explode gas.
I call them farts.
Then you got the budget Wolverine. You said.
Budget Wolverine. Yeah,
Then you got the just random soldiers.
yeah. This and the snipers. They're a
Yep,
pain in the ass.
and the shield guys.
Yeah, the balls. Not as in like a bouncy ball, but as in
Oh,
like a cow ball.
yeah, they charge at you. They're a nightmare as well because they take off a lot of health if they hit you.
But it's so satisfying playing it on like John Wick mode, like me, where you just stand there with your shotguns dual wielding, and you just wait till the last second, and you just go bam, and it just falls down and dies, and the next one comes on, you're bam, and then just reloading, alternating these shotguns. I feel like a right badass.
Then you got the two enemies that look like hunters from Resident Evil.
What ones are they?
There's a green monster looks kind of like a it runs at you like an ape.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then
The
there
thing
you
with
got
like it's
the
got like an eye on
yeah,
its
and then you got
face, yeah,
like everything has an eye on its face.
an eye on its eye on its face, an eye on its body, like on its body
Yeah, and
chest
then you
area.
got like the other color version, the red one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you got
You've got
the
the
four-handed,
Goro lizards.
yep, that throw balls at you that follow you. So if they
Yeah,
miss
oh,
you,
that's so nice.
yep. Um,
Like,
then you've got the big hammer wielding enemies that can only be killed from behind.
yeah,
Um,
they're annoying.
yep, there was a innuendo pun there that I could have used, but I'll avoid that. Um, you got the
Minigun scorpions.
yep, and then the bigger red scorpions.
Yeah.
The vampires you mentioned. Then you got the witches that
Yeah.
teleport, and you can only shoot
Oh,
them
they're
when
just annoying.
yeah. You got the creatures that are on robotic legs.
Hmm.
You got small
Yeah.
ones that shoot lasers, and then big ones that shoot rockets.
Yeah.
Then you got Fat Man Bazooka guy.
Oh, yeah, the flamethrower ones as well that like
Oh, they're
jump and
annoying.
fly. And, yeah.
Yeah. The helicopters
Oh,
and the
yeah, like the
drones.
tentacle. Yeah.
Yeah,
The drones are alright if you've got the miniguns because you can just go, oh,
yeah.
that's it.
But yeah, they're.
They're gone.
I think that's all of them, and then you got the bosses that are different. So speaking of bosses, there's that one boss where I hate levels like this, and Gears of War had a level like this where you're in a machine
Yeah,
and you can't replenish your health because you're in a machine.
that's the Pope Mobile one.
Yes, it's so frustrating because you get to a checkpoint on the boss after you've done the whole level, but your health is so low, and you're like, I'm not going to start the level again because it just took me too long. So
Yeah.
I will do this boss with quarter of a health, but there's no way of like regaining your health, and it's so yeah, it's so frustrating. It's like that level on Gears of War when you're in the car and you have to shine
Mm.
the lights at the creel or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think there's a level in Resident Evil 5 that's like it as well. And I just hate levels like that where you just have no chance to replenish your health.
So basically, what you're saying is you're putting it out there for all the game developers to know. Stop it.
Yeah,
Just stop it with
yeah,
that mechanic.
yeah.
Ian doesn't like it, so just
I
stop
don't.
it.
Yeah, I don't like it. You can let me be in big, massive mechazoid creatures, but just let me be able to recharge my health in some way. Like let me plug into an electricity port to just
Yeah.
charge my batteries.
Lean out the window, bit of glue on the windshield, get rid of those cracks. Fine.
So when dealing with enemies, we've discovered that we both run backwards. I do a lot
Yes.
of jumping as well. I try and get up somewhere high so that they can't get me
I
if I
sort of
can.
do a weird run backwards, spin, run backwards, spin, run back, just so I can see where I'm going. Because so many
Oh
times
yeah.
I've been running backwards and I end up getting stuck on a wall, and then like budget Wolverines just come and just slice me to bits.
So what's your go-to weapon when dealing with a big?
Oh, the dual miniguns.
Yeah, but the ammo is so sparse.
No, it's not because I got the thing that when you kill them, they drop the ammo.
Yeah, but even then, you're probably like wasting 100
They,
bullets and then you get like 30 back.
mm. And there's the other gun as well. I think it's supposed to be some sort of sniper rifle or something, but it shoots exploding rounds.
Oh yeah, like the Devastator, I think it's called.
Something like that. Yeah, I dual wield that a lot, and I can because I'm playing it on like super duper easy mode.
Yeah.
I can just one shot kills everything.
So
So I'm just there.
that gun is on, and the minigun. When you open up the weapon wheel, there's like
Yeah.
two layers of it. So you got the normal layer.
Oh yeah.
So this is what I wanted to talk about when it comes to weapons. So you got the normal layer, and you just use the right stick to select it. But then there's
Yeah.
the outer lane, which
Yeah.
is like an alternative version of the weapon you're carrying. So
Yeah.
for the shotgun, it would be the what's it, double barrel shotgun, and then the machine gun, you'd have the minigun.
Yeah.
Rocket launcher would then go into the grenade launcher, and I think it took me about 4 levels before I realized actually how to change my weapon and the gadgets. Like you do the gadgets the same way as well.
I didn't use a single gadget. I didn't know how to use them.
So you just
So
press left
we
on the
haven't.
D-pad to use them.
Yeah. We've not said how long we played for it. So I did 6 hours and 50 minutes and didn't use a single. Well, I used some of the gadgets like by accident. Where again,
Yeah.
when I'm trying to change weapon, because I've tried to change weapon, like I'm playing Time Splitters for some reason, where you press left and right on the D-pad.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Anyway, you've managed an insane amount of hours on this game. This is like your most played game yet out of the 3 we've done. 19 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, like I said to you, I don't know how though, because I don't play it in the evenings, because once the baby's asleep, like me and my wife will just spend some time together. If she's out for the day, because I'm working from home, if she's out for the
Yeah.
day with the baby, because she's on maternity leave, I'll just play it on my lunch break.
Do you
So
know?
that's
Do
like
you know what I reckon's happening? I reckon you're at work and she's going, "Oh yeah, Ian's busy. He's at work. Baby's asleep. Well, I'm gonna play myself some serious Sam." Clocking your hours up, and you're not realizing. You're like, "Oh, well, I only thought I played 10 hours. Why is it saying like nearly 20?"
yeah,
There you go. See?
perhaps,
Secret
perhaps.
serious Sam. Just like ban in the house.
So yeah, I mean the fact that we've both played it for so long, and it took us a while. Well, for you, you don't even know how to change your gadgets, and it took
No.
me a while to change. Yeah, just the weapons in general. It's easy to get dual wield because you just press the right bumper.
Hmm.
So there's perks that you unlock throughout the game, and one of them allows you to like dual wield small weapons, and then dual wield like medium-sized weapons, and then larger weapons, and then you can. I haven't unlocked it yet, but there's one which lets you dual wield different weapons, so you can
Yeah.
have like one minigun, one rocket launcher. Um,
I was going to do that. I had an orb and I could have done that, but then I noticed on the other side that I'd been ignoring because it was to do with like melee stuff.
yeah,
There was one that said ride a monster, and I was like,
yeah,
oh, I want to do that. I want to ride a monster. So I started down that side, but I'm like one off from actually getting the ride the
yeah.
monster. I was
I
hoping
just
you'd unlocked it.
I've just unlocked it, but I haven't been prompted to ride a monster yet.
Ah,
But
devastating.
the going down the melee route is good though, because those big Goro creatures, if you just weaken them, you can just one hit kill them with a melee weapon.
Yeah.
So if you get close enough to them and they're low enough in health, you can just stab them in like the knee or the throat or something, and they'll just go down. You know,
In the knee. Oh,
yeah, 4 rockets to the face, they're still standing, but one knife to the knee.
yeah.
It's like the adventures in Skyrim.
Yeah. I used to be a horde monster, then I took a knife to the knee.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, the controls are just going back to like the wheel, the weapon wheel. The controls are basically your standard first-person shooter. Right trigger shoot, left trigger is like aim, unless you're dual
Mm.
wielding. But yeah, I just don't feel like a lot of the controls were laid out very well, or explained, or described, or
And also, when you sort of get lost and you don't know where you're going, there's if you press, what is it, right on the D-pad, it gives you
yeah,
the arrows to show you where to go.
yeah,
However, it's not very good because it essentially will show you to go somewhere where you can't actually go because it's just sort of connecting 2 points. It doesn't show
yeah,
you. It sort of half goes around some stuff, but I think sometimes it gets confused because so many times it's like just gone through a gate, like a locked gate, or it's
yeah,
gone over the top of a wall that I can't get over. And it's like, well, this is a load of help. So I sort of had to sort of like figure out a way to get around where it's showing me I need to go. I
yeah.
thought that was a bit rubbish for people if you're stuck and you just want to get on.
In terms of level design, what did you think of level designs?
I didn't I don't think there was a lot of time to really sort of learn the levels as such because you go into it like you go into the level, you pick up some things, do a little bit of explore, then you go walk through like a gate or something, and then the music would start,
Yeah,
tons of enemies, and you're just so concentrated on oh my god, all these things. But you don't really get a sense of like the design of the level itself.
yeah,
I don't think that's a big deal with the type of game it is because essentially you're just going. For me anyway, it was just fun. Essentially, almost like being a gladiator in an arena with a machine gun. You're like,
yeah,
there's a big arena. You're in there. Here's a load of cool weapons, and here's a load of bad guys, and just shoot the crap out of them. So
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know what your opinion was on it.
I there were aspects of certain levels that I liked, and some I didn't. When you got to like France, when you left Italy for France, I enjoyed that a bit more. It felt a bit more open world.
Yeah,
It didn't feel so
annoying. They
linear,
took all
even though
your
it
guns off
was,
you though.
yeah, even though it was linear, because you still had to just follow the path to get to your mission. There was a lot more
Yeah,
you could go. They could have put a lot more in that area. Like when you first get to France, you're just in this open field with loads of forest, but there's like 2 side quests and then the main quest, but there's so much area that I feel like they could have put a few more little quests in, even just like silly ones.
Yeah.
Like the portal quests. Did you do any of those? You have the giant portal
Um,
and you have to press a button and then a horde comes and you press it
oh
again.
yeah, I did one of those by accident because I
Yeah.
jumped over a wall and fell off the side of the mountain and saw a thing down there and went there.
Is that in the castle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one. Yeah. So when you do that one, the after every wave, the next wave should be harder.
Okay.
But I found the second wave the hardest because I had those skeleton horses and the Goros, and I found myself just eventually just pegging it through the middle of them up the hill, so they would all come at me one like it's single file. So I
Yeah,
just found it easier to just pick them off that way. That's the best
that's
thing.
what I
Like
did.
in one of the castle bits, there was a secret gate. When you do the side quest, it gives you the key for the storage rooms.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I just sat in one of those, and every time a horde of enemies came in, I just got in that room with my minigun, and then as they all tried to get through the door, it was just mow them down, and the bigger creatures couldn't get in. So it's just like nice.
that's what I did in like the quarry level where you've got like
Oh
the
yeah,
winding path. I went all the way down to the bottom, triggered the spawn of the enemies, ran all the way back up to the top, and then just sat at the top, just mowing everything down coming
yeah.
towards me.
I tried to do that as well because some of the enemies on there were just relentless.
Yeah.
Um,
Ah, the I just remembered. I didn't actually put it in my notes, but what I found really fun the level of the combine harvester.
yes,
What did
that
you think
was
of that?
fun. That was
I
great.
was I was like to begin with, I was like, what did he just say? Combine harvester? Like getting it, I'm like, oh, what? This is gonna what? And then I'm like, oh, you get to mow the enemies down.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah, that was a good mission. I enjoyed that one. It was just the comedy you expect from a game like
Yeah.
Serious Sam because there wasn't a lot of comedy. They tried to put a lot in like the cutscenes, like with his
Mm.
quips and his one-liners, but I didn't think a lot of them fell flat. But there's that one enemy in the Colosseum where he uses a load of crab puns,
Yeah.
which I thought was quite amusing. Um,
Yeah.
like he's got a bad crabitude, and but a
They're
lot
just
of
they're basically just dad jokes.
yeah,
It's probably why
yeah.
me and you are like, oh yeah, amazing,
But some of the jokes
hilarious.
I could like I predicted. Like there's one where he goes, "Oh, Danger's my middle name," and literally, no lie, I said that when she said something about Danger. I was like, in my head, I was like, he's gonna say it's his middle name, and then he goes and says it. I was like, predictable.
Because that's just a classic dad joke, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. So I mean, I don't really have any more notes on it to be honest. Like,
Yeah, I think we've covered across most everything that I had down as well. Wait a minute, let's just have a look. Yeah, no, I think we're good. I think we've actually gone quite in depth, more than I sort of thought.
yeah.
So, what
Did
would you
you?
say?
Oh, before did you get to finish the game?
No,
No.
no.
I haven't either. I think I'm like 2 levels from the end, maybe 3. So you must be pretty much the same as me then.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just a quick one on the achievement front, because I know I forgot to mention this when we did Shredders, but I mentioned it
yeah,
when we did Tunic. Um, Achievements are pretty straightforward to get. Uh, they're predominantly secret, but you get an achievement for every mission you finish, every side quest you do, um, and you shouldn't really miss many side quests because they open on the path to do the main quest. There's a few other achievements about like with the combine harvester mowing down 200
yeah,
enemies, meleeing 11 different enemies. Whereas if you've unlocked the perks, that should happen really quickly. So on the achievement front, it's quite easy to get most of them. I think I've got 9 left to get. I've got 750 out of 1,000 gamer score on it. I think I've got 45. I think you sent me the photo. I've got 45 out of 54. Um,
that's
so
pretty good
yeah,
on a
so I
single
think I
playthrough.
know. Yeah, I just think I know if I've got 3 levels left, there's usually a side quest on every level. So about 6 of those are going to just unlock,
Yeah,
and then you get one for completing it. So that's probably the 7th. And then I know there's one I've missed where you use the mini nuke to kill 100 enemies. So I haven't
Go back
done
and do
that
that
one.
then.
Yeah, I'll have to do that one. But yeah, achievement wise, it's quite easy to get a few because you'll unlock most of them just on a single playthrough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to quickly add that before we go to our final review.
Let all those achievement hunters know.
Yes, yes. I mean, yeah, like I said earlier about the secrets, finding out there's a secrets on every level. I don't think you get an achievement for unlocking any of the secrets. I think the secrets are just
Well,
like additional gadgets to use.
they're just for your personal achievement, aren't they? You don't
Yeah,
need
if
the
you
little
call it
the
that.
little noise and the thing to come up. You just know inside, you're just there alone in your house, playing Serious Sam. You've glitched outside the map. You found the random bit of health. Ooh, secret. Oh, I'm so great, me.
Talking about random bit of health. On one of the levels of the bridges, you can go under the bridges. There's a river.
Oh, yeah.
Did you go under one of the bridges and find a random bit of health, and when you pick it up, it spawned loads of those kamikaze bombers?
Yes. Yeah.
How did you fare with those? Because I found a little trick.
I just was like double miniguns dead because I'm playing on easy mode, so I'm
Oh,
basically, I'm like John McClane, just
you've been
no
John
issue.
Rambo, John Wick, and now John McClane.
Yeah, all the Johns.
Any other Johns?
That's as many as I think.
Yeah, so
I'll let you know if I think of one more.
I just went in the water because they don't follow you in the water. So I just stood in
Uh,
the water and then just stopped at the shoreline and then you just mow them all down. Just thought I'd quickly get that a little tip for anyone.
Little tip.
Yeah,
We could do a
that's a
spin-off
magic
show.
trout twip.
Ian's
Tip twip.
Yeah. Magic Trout's gaming tips.
Yeah, enemies don't follow you into water. Okay, now let's get on to the final review. We've diverted again.
Yes.
So for me, as fun as the game is, as like a kick back and relax, have a bit of a de-stress. Not so much de-stress because it can be stressful at times. I would say it's a Game Pass.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I would go gameplay, but only gameplay if you put it on the easiest mode and you just want to go through and just be an 80s action hero for half hour, 40 minutes, and just de-stress and just be like, die, you bastards.
Yeah,
Then,
like John Wayne.
yeah. Yeah, like John
Okay,
Wayne. Walk off
there's
into
another
the
one.
then you walk off into the sunset at the end of the level like John Wayne, and that's how it finishes. And you've been all the Johns then.
I'm glad we got one more in.
Yeah. So this is the first time we've had a disagreement. Dun,
I
dun,
know.
dun.
I
So
know.
I would say it can only be a genuine gameplay if we both say gameplay. So as I'm a play and you're a pass, I think we then have to say it's a pass overall.
Okay, fair enough.
But saying that, Devolver Digital, we're doing another one of their games, so they get a
Yes.
second chance, unlike most.
Yes, I'm actually looking forward to playing Track to Yumi.
Yeah. What do you
Yomi.
call it? Yumi? Yomi?
I don't know.
Yomai?
I don't know.
I know on flipping Grumpy Gamers, they were like having some sort of disagreements about how to say it, weren't they?
Track.
Yomai, Yomi.
I'm
saying Yomi because it sounds like yummy.
I'm gonna say Yomai.
Yomai.
It's a trek to
when I was
Yomai
playing-
treasure.
I was going to go apostrophe and be like, "Oh, we're playing Trek to Yomai."
No, I'm looking forward to that. I do have a massive. I've just bought Metroid Dread as well on the Switch.
Bloody
So
hell, you bought a Switch game.
Yeah. Well, I went into Curry's. Going off topic, I went into Curry's
Yeah.
to get Paper Mario because it's only £25. They didn't have it in stock, and I was like, whilst I was in there, I was like, I'll just buy Metroid Dread. Everyone says it's really good, and I liked all the other Metroid games I played, so I just need to play that and Pokemon Arceus. They're in my backlog as well.
You can sit in bed and play them. It's the best thing about the Switch.
I know, but I like to start the Switch games on a big TV, and then I'm happy to go to handheld.
Okay.
But I like to initially start off on a on
also,
the TV.
Paper Mario is on the N64 Switch online.
Oh, is it?
The original. Yeah. So if you want to for free, jump in and play that, and
Yeah, I'll do that as well.
Scratch that Paper Mario itch.
Yes. Did you want to talk about any other upcoming plans that we might have for the channel going forward?
I say we wrap this video up, and then
Yeah.
I'll chat to you about it in a minute.
All right then. We
Right,
can
so
edit this out.
we can. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Until next time.